Because people living with dementia have unique and changing abilities, we do not aim to create a one-size-fits-all approach to communication. Instead, we focus on raising awareness of strategies that are often effective for many people living with dementia. We also encourage flexibility in using these strategies while considering individual and contextual differences. As verbal communication becomes increasingly challenging for people living with dementia, relying solely on spoken words is less effective. Instead, using an approach that combines different communication methods, such as verbal and nonverbal forms of communication, along with contextual objects, can help improve the communication outcomes. This approach is called contextual interaction. It means adding context to the interaction by using multiple strategies at the same time. It gives the person living with dementia multiple cues to help them stay oriented and better understand the interaction. These cues might include references to time, place, people, and events. First, verbal communication involves the use of words. When talking to someone living with dementia, start by addressing the person using their preferred name and introducing yourself to create a sense of familiarity and help them understand the situation. Speak clearly, use simple and direct language, and focus on one idea at a time. Give the person enough time to process what you have said and respond. Pause between sentences and rephrase with simpler words if needed. Avoid asking questions that rely on memory, like, "Do you remember?" because it can be frustrating for the person if they can't remember past events. Instead, focus more on the present and what's happening now. Nonverbal communication refers to the way we communicate without words, such as through eye contact, facial expression, body language, touch, or tone of voice. When approaching someone living with dementia, it's best to approach them diagonally from the front where they can see you, or if they are sitting, squat down to their eye level so they can easily see you. Get their attention by making eye contact and smiling. Use a calm, friendly tone of voice and speak at a normal volume and pitch. If it feels appropriate, you can gently touch the person's arm or offer a handshake to connect in a non-threatening way. This approach creates a calm and welcoming atmosphere and helps them feel more comfortable and connected. Contextual objects can be any physical items or environmental elements that make it easier to understand a message. You can point to objects like a clock or an activity board to support what you are saying. For example, "Look, it's 10 o'clock, the perfect time for a walk. Would you like to join me?" Or you can also show or hold up items so that they can see or touch them. For example, "We have some empty pots here. Should we plant some tomatoes together?" Visual cues like these can connect the conversation to the surroundings, making it easier for the person to understand. That's how contextual interaction works in practice. And again, it's best to combine various forms of communication this way when interacting with people living with dementia. Nature provides a calming and peaceful environment that can help reduce stress and encourage engagement, which makes communication more effective. Here are some communication strategies that work well in these settings, and we call them connection strategies. First, participating in activities together helps build a sense of connection especially in nature, where the focus is on the environment and shared experience. Encourage the person to join in simple tasks like walking, planting flowers, watering plants, collecting leaves, or watching birds. You could say, I have these sunflower seeds. Shall we plant them together? Or let's pick some mints for tea. Doing things together can lead to natural conversations and strengthen your relationship. Positive words of encouragement can help boost confidence and encourage participation. Remember to encourage and praise the person for their involvement in any activity, even if it's something very simple. People living with dementia may need more time to process information, and they may respond more slowly or need breaks to fully engage. They may move at a slower pace than they once did. Allow the person to set the pace for conversations and activities in nature. If they want to pause and sit, give them that time. You could say, take your time, or let me know when you're ready. Avoid rushing the conversation or activity. It is not necessary to try to fill silences with talking, as it may interfere with their attempts to gather their thoughts and words. This may mean sitting together quietly for a moment, letting the sounds of nature fill the silence. This helps reduce stress and ensures they don't feel rushed. Bringing joy and playfulness into situations and taking a lighter approach to problems can often make things easier for everyone concerned. Laughter can be a powerful way to ease the confusion, embarrassment, or frustration that often comes with dementia. Using laughter and saying oops can be very helpful. It can be a kind and humorous way to handle situations when something goes wrong in a conversation or an activity. Saying oops shows that there's no need to feel bad and helps turn a potentially frustrating moment into something more lighthearted. You can follow up by saying, let's try again. It's all part of the fun. Nature offers many sensory experiences that can spark positive emotions. Engaging the senses can help people living with dementia feel more connected and present. Nature sounds, such as bird songs or running water, can be especially soothing and often help people living with dementia stay engaged and relaxed. Listen together to the sounds around you. You might say, can you hear the birds singing? To engage them in the moment. You could also encourage the person to interact with the colors, smells, and texture in nature by pointing out things like leaves, seeds, flowers, pine cones, tree barks, rocks, pebbles, bird nests, or anything else that you can see, touch, smell, or hear in the environment. You may also want to draw attention to items like seasonal decorations, wind chimes, or food and drink items nearby. This approach helps create meaningful conversations based on sensory experiences and allows the person to engage with the world around them in a soothing and enjoyable way. People living with dementia may have difficulty expressing their emotions. Therefore, recognizing their emotions helps them feel heard. Listen attentively and pay close attention to the person's facial expressions and body language. If the person is smiling, laughing, or showing signs of enjoyment, acknowledge the happiness by saying something like, you look so happy. I love seeing you enjoy the flowers. This helps reinforce the positive emotion. If the person seems anxious or disoriented, acknowledge and validate their feelings. For example, you could say, I see that this is making you anxious, or I see that this could be a little overwhelming right now. Would you like to rest somewhere quiet? Validating the feelings helps build trust and emotional comfort. If fear or confusion is present, assure the person by saying something like, I'm right here with you, and offer comforting gestures like a gentle touch. You can also guide their attention to something positive in the environment or something they may enjoy. Let's sit here and listen to the birds. Or, how about a cuppa with mint from the garden? Sometimes, simply sitting in silence and offering a calming presence is the best way to support the feelings. In nature, this can be more helpful than trying to fix the situation right away. People living with dementia are all unique, and it's important not to make assumptions. Instead, be aware of the changes they experience and adjust your approach to suit their abilities and needs. Dementia affects people in many ways, but one thing is certain: the better the communication, the better the quality of life that can be maintained. By being respectful, empathetic, clear, adaptable, and patient, we can foster trust, strengthen relationships, and create more meaningful interactions with people living with dementia.